Hey everybody, on this episode of Box Office Breakdown, we're going to find out how Aaron Eckhart's latest horror film didn't have what it took to scare its way into the top 5. Let's do it.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies.
And now, here's Popcorn Talks.
Hey everybody, look at that.
I feel
Everyone
like
just said,
we were
welcome.
missing something there.
Oh, we didn't have our cheesy music.
Boop, 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 boop.
Yeah.
But still, look at that. That was pretty
Sorry.
cool. Old school way.
Yeah!
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
that gets me going. That gets me in the mood.
If you could see her in the studio, Quinn went from like 0 to 60 just
Yes.
as that little ditty came popping
I
on
heard
there.
one note, and that's all
It's
it
like,
took.
boom.
Yes!
Hey everybody, welcome to Box Office Breakdown here on Popcorn Talk. This is the show where we talk about the box office that was, and then we, Quinn.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, you
Prognosticate.
Yes. Prognosticated about the box office the week to come. I'm one of your hosts, Frank Moran. You can follow me on Twitter at HappyGoJackie.
And hey, guys, my name is Kari Lane. You can find me online at Kari D. Lane. And we have our other
Holy
co-host
cow.
back.
I know.
Woo!
I'm sitting in DJ Richie Skye's seat, and you know what? I feel great.
Yeah?
It feels like he left some residual sparkle here.
Oh, look at that.
You
I know Sky Patterson. Sad
Yeah.
to see that Richie's gone, but happy that Quinn is in his place right
And
there.
you guys can follow me on Twitter at Quinn Scillian.
There you go.
We
And-
need our chat up.
Yeah, and folks, you can like us on Facebook. Give us those 5 stars on iTunes. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're going to pull up the chat in just a second so you guys can chime in on what you thought about this weekend's movie results and as we talk about this weekend to come.
Sorry, I was going to say, it's like the ladies' side
Yeah.
and the gentleman's side.
They-
It's like a middle school dance.
That little awkward moment. Who's going to make that first move?
And more girls than guys.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. Yes. So I guess we'll get this out of the way here. Richie Skye, unfortunately, has an event to work tonight, so he will not be joining us, and he will not be here to just get the. Well, I guess he wouldn't be too
He
sad if he
lost.
lost this bet.
Ah.
Yes. The results of the box office bet, we'll just get that out of the way because Incarnate did not really scare up much of a box office. Only got $2.6 million there, way less than any of us predicted.
What did we say, like 6?
We said, I think we did 7 each.
7
We tied on
this time.
7, and
We've-
Richie went 12.
All right, so you guys
We've
know
had it
you guys were
twice.
going low.
Oh, we
Yes.
were. We've had a couple that were like,
Yeah.
oh, we should go low. But it's funny, twice Frank and I have guessed the same numbers.
There you go. Carrie and I are just dialed in. Look at
Right,
that.
you
we
go.
are now on these
Yes.
flops.
I think you guys have spent too many Monday nights together. I think
Yeah,
that's
you know,
That's right.
oh, they're all happy to have
Oh,
you
look
back,
at
as
this.
we are too.
The chat is
Yay.
excited.
Hi guys, got the gang back together.
There you go. Quinn is like a returning celebrity.
Yep.
Yeah. he's
And
famous.
I know during your time away you've made sure to go see Max Steel.
Oh yeah.
She will reserve her just for that film. Yeah.
It was really good. What else do you need to know?
All right. Thanks. What was your favorite scene in Max Steel, Quinn?
The first one.
Oh, the first one. Like it. Okay. There you go. Very cryptic. I enjoy it. Media Shack already. There you go. Any excuse of Richie Skye going away. Yes.
Yep.
So let's just jump right into it, Quinn. I know it's
Yeah.
been a while.
You
so,
sure has.
Yes, we'll just ease back into the waters and let's talk about this top 5 from the weekend's
Speaking of
bank.
waters.
Yeah,
Speaking of waters.
yes, look at
Too
that.
good. You're too good.
Moana kept its title there at the top of the box
Woo!
office for the second week here domestically. $28.373 million.
I always root for the animated movies too.
Me too.
And it's a good one too, so I'm happy.
Did everybody see it? No, you have not seen it yet, have you, Quinn?
Okay, if I'm gonna be completely, I'm just gonna put this out into the atmosphere
it.
right
Gotcha.
now. We live in LA. Pretty soon, all these screeners are just gonna end up
Oh,
in
fair
rotation,
enough.
and I'm just gonna get to watch everything from the comfort of my own home. So that's why it's like a little bit hard for me to want to make the push to go to the theater right now because
enough.
I know in 2 seconds someone's gonna be like, "Oh hey, here's a I don't know
Well, it's a very
Here's
specifically
Arrival.
LA thing, but true.
what."
I said yes, it's a very,
Very
specifically
specific thing to
LA experience,
LA.
but yes.
But I think that's why
Yeah.
maybe I haven't been making the push to go to the theater.
Did you see it yet?
I've seen it twice.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Wow.
What do you think now after a second viewing?
The issues that it's still a fun movie, but the
Yes.
issues I still had with it.
What were
still
the
irritated.
issues?
Yeah, remind me what your
Yeah, get a
issues
little
were.
refresher.
Just the certainly at the end of the film we have the two our two characters. I
Yes.
felt like the one that had the bigger character journey to make.
Oh, right.
Is kind of off camera for a lot of that. And I felt like,
Okay.
and it felt very cliche. Like when one person
Little
says,
bit.
you know what, you're on your own.
Yeah.
But when the big moment comes, I wonder who's going to come back in.
You know. It's
to
a
help
kids
out.
movie.
Sure.
Yeah, but I felt
They
like
get some leeway.
But we've had a big year for kids movies. Maybe we got to
Yeah.
start,
That's
Hey, guys,
true.
raising the
let's not-
gauntlet a little.
Maybe.
let's
Maybe.
not forget Storks.
Let's
guys.
not
Yeah.
ever forget Storks.
Did you like? Oh, and then since you haven't seen it yet, make sure to stay through the credits. There is a post-credit scene.
I did know that. I heard that there was a
did
little
you like the
Easter
post-credit?
I
egg.
did.
Okay.
It was nice. I even liked the little short. If he's in the theaters, the little short they had in front of it too.
Yeah,
I
always the
did
good
like the
Pixar
first
shorts.
short. It was
Yeah.
very funny. Good use of. I really enjoy how these shorts that they put in front of the movies, how they're kind of a simplistic idea, but then they like take it another direction.
Yes.
Because you're like, oh, because I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but it was just like, oh, yeah, that's a way we think of some things, but then let's take it a step further.
There you go.
Yeah.
And just a repeated gag that
Yes.
didn't go through. I thought it was very
Yeah.
enjoyable. Yes, the little callbacks
Yeah.
to that and how that built the course of the short. Really nicely done. Yeah, they really do. I think there's only been one that I really didn't get. I think the lava, the volcanoes one from a few
It was
years
okay.
I lava you?
Yeah.
It's okay. I love Birds on a Wire. That's been one of my favorite ones.
Yeah.
That one just. Do you remember that one? It's like all the little chubby
Oh, yeah.
birds, and then the big stork thing.
Yes.
And then
Yeah, and then it goes, ding, and they all fly.
It was one of those that
One
just
day I
got me.
spent a whole day just watching all of those shorts.
Yeah, you can watch them all together.
Yeah,
it's
they're,
great.
yeah, and all of a sudden I'm sitting here totally at a blank for some. I mean, I love a lot of them, but I'm having a little bit of.
Snowman. The snow globe.
Oh yeah, the snow globe. Oh,
Yeah.
that one's so good. You're right.
That, of course, is the word of wisdom there from the booth, James. Thank you, James.
Yeah.
We're all back
the
together.
voice in the sky.
Yes, we've
You
done it.
know.
Look
The
at
eye
that.
in the sky.
Yeah.
He's like Ed Harris in Truman Show.
Yeah. Albin in the chat feels convinced that Storks will win the Oscar for Best Animated
Yeah.
Feature. Thank you, Albin, with your tongue firmly in cheek on that one.
No, what do you guys think is going to win? It's going to be.
Zootopia, Moana, and Kubo. I think those are all good contenders. Those three.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
agree with that. Yes.
You don't think we're
because
going to see
they're all a
Finding
little
Dory
different.
in there?
Actually, yeah, Finding
It could
Dory.
be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would think
Well,
they would. I think it would get in there. I don't know if it would. Yeah.
You know how like over the years they've increased the numbers of nominees? Like in the past I remember it was like 5. And then one year it was like 10.
Yeah.
But I also feel like Finding Dory could win because it's often just like, oh, it's Pixar, and then just like the default, they won't even watch
Yeah.
it. They'll just like, no, Pixar's always
Yeah.
good. We'll just vote for that.
Yeah.
But if they watch it, there's a lot of good stuff to see.
And
But I
I
also think
tweeted it.
Zootopia
Yeah.
had so much hype in terms of like,
Yeah.
you know, the kind of social relevance and all that.
Sure.
Like I could see Zootopia taking it.
did you guys see that? I think I linked to way back when, but I forget what for. I think it was the last round of awards was how Adam ruins everything of how awards shows are kind
Yeah.
of irrelevant. I'm like, but I know
Really
that
does
too.
ruin everything.
You know, but we've all talked about how movies can be award-winning, and you just personally don't enjoy them, and vice versa. Movies that are amazing don't have awards. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Guys, once Transformers, the new Transformers film, sure not to be elected for nominated for another award film, for award for 2017. It'd be a shame.
Say it one more time.
That was a terrible sentence that I just came out of
Oh.
my mouth. But the new
That's why I
Transformers
didn't
film,
process it.
yes, the new Transformers film, they just released a trailer of it. I doubt we'll see that in any sort of awards contention for
Oh,
2017.
speaking of trailers, what do we all think of the Guardians 2 trailer?
I actually didn't watch that one, but I watched the.
Baby Groot!
That
You know,
was-
I want to. I'm sorry, but I watched. Did you guys watch the Mummy trailer?
No.
Yes.
I'm
What'd you
right.
think?
I'm like, well, I remember reading some comments and people were like, well, it's more based on the original film because the Mummy with Brendan Fraser isn't. That's a remake as well.
Yeah.
I like that it's so because I grew up. I loved the Brendan Fraser one. I loved it. It was so cool when it came out, and you're just like, my friends and I saw it, and even the subsequent ones.
I almost feel
kinda
like
fun.
it's almost feels like a cult classic at this point.
It's one of those like
Yeah.
even it's kind of action comedy, but that's what I liked about it.
Hmm.
But this one is so different that I'm like, okay, I don't feel like it's cringing on like the one I enjoyed before because I'm like, oh no, it's a totally different take, different like the new one. If you guys don't know, it's Tom Cruise, and so you're like, oh, different vibe. Though in the trailer, his screaming sounds so stupid. Go watch it. The screaming, I'm like, really? He like, it's just dumb. But the action of it looks really cool, and so it looks like a darker movie, like darker action, which I'm like, okay, I'll probably say.
I feel
No,
like-
you're like,
I don't know, because I feel like Universal's been trying for a
Yeah.
while to try to kind of figure out how they want to approach this this rich kind of legacy that they have, and kind
Yeah.
of spinning it to a modern audience,
Yeah.
especially with the age of the franchise, to try to kind of catch up with that. And it's almost like ready-made of sorts where you can kind of
Yeah.
combine all these monster movies and make your own sort of kind of monster universe. But it almost seems, and I enjoy Tom Cruise tremendously. Maybe not every one of his films is great, but I don't think
Right.
you can ever be disappointed by a Tom Cruise performance. But it does seem like in a way, I was watching it. It's like Tom Cruise almost feels like he's too big for this movie. Like Tom Cruise, like is slumming it in a mummy film.
Okay. Well, okay, then that's that hard debate of like how often we talked about star power the last couple episodes, and how much is it like should we be giving other actors a chance to get in it to become the next star power? Like, some TV shows lately that are coming out, especially like ones on Amazon or Netflix, where they have like one or two big actors, and then there's all these new people, and you're like, oh, I love seeing these new actors. So I feel like maybe The Mummy they should have had. Could they have had someone else then, or are they using Tom Cruise because people were
almost like The Kingsman, where you kind of had the lead be this kid that nobody really knew who he was, and he was just really charming, and that really propelled his career. He did, that Eagle, whatever, So like, I think that I do think that and then they also obviously had Samuel Jackson and a bunch of other people in that movie. But I think that that for me is a great way to set up kind of new talent.
Exactly.
And
Although, but I enjoyed The Kingsman tremendously, but once Colin Firth kind of exited the film, I was like, I really don't care about that kid as much. I did not.
Okay, fair enough.
Colin Firth was just so
Colin
engaging.
Firth is so fun.
Yeah,
during that
that's
whole
hard.
movie.
Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But I do think that I do think I find myself drawn to movies where the star power is a little less.
Because I guess there's two ways to look at it. You could think did Tom Cruise see something in the script that's like, wow, this is really cool. I really want to do something like this. Or did he just lose a bet? He's got to do this, and the movie's not that great, and you're like,
But also, we've seen so much Tom Cruise this year. Like, is anyone jonesing for more Cruise?
I don't feel like a Tom Cruise movie is coming my way, especially if it's an action movie. It's more of like a drama piece. I feel like Tom Cruise in an action movie is pretty much a no-brainer. I think you're going to enjoy the experience.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I think it's Adelia. They want in our chat said, they want to establish a monster cinematic universe, and to gain traction in the era of comic book movies, they had to get names. That's actually an excellent theory there. I like that. That's a good way to look at it. Right now, it's the
Just
comic
for this
book movies are
specific
huge,
genre.
and so if they're trying to reboot monsters, names help.
Yeah, I mean, but I guess there's one thing to be said, like, just give me a quality story. Because I don't think it doesn't matter how big the star is going to be. It might give you a great opening
want a
weekend.
quality story film?
I mean,
like from Hollywood?
I know.
I mean, look at Moonlight. Like, we don't have a whole lot of huge names in that,
Right.
but that thing is taking off. You know what I mean? Because it resonates.
And you look at the Marvel films, I mean, they were using, Robert Downey Jr. was not in the best spot in Hollywood at that time when Iron Man first came out, and it really kind of resurrected his career.
Yeah.
And they've kind of taken lesser known Chris Evans. Well, I mean, he was a fine actor, but nothing like, oh, wow, yeah. So I kind of wish the Universal would have kind of just taken more characters actors that could be on the cusp, so to speak, and then have them kind of elevate along with the material.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll see. I'll be curious to see how this all comes together. I feel
Very
like
true.
Because the original Mummy, the Brendan Fraser Mummy, I felt like it was a movie I almost wanted to like. Because it's like, I just like the
You don't
comedy
like
part. I do. The part of it, it's like I wish they kind of would have stripped out some of the comedy, and I just wanted to
Okay.
be more action and adventure, and a little less of the comedic beats. Sometimes the comedic beats get a little, all right, great. Like John Hannah, really great actor, but sometimes like, enough of him being like the fumbling brother. Like, move along, please. Let's just do some cool scenes. So that's our little that's trailer talk here, a new segment here on Box Office Breakdown, breaking this down. We'll get back into the top 5 right here. Coming in at number 2 at the box office, we've got good old Fantastic Beasts, and where to find them. Eddie Redmayne staying strong there at the box office, another $18.5 million.
Did
to
you
its
catch
total.
this one yet?
Nope. I'm really disappointed. Like, this is the one that I'm most disappointed in myself for not having seen, because I just keep being like, it's getting to the point where all the movies are coming out, and now all of a sudden there's so much to see, and it starts to get a little overwhelming. But still, through all of these wonderful movies that are coming out, that's the one I'm like, I really have to go see that just out of my pure allegiance to my Potterhead self.
Okay.
But I just haven't gotten my butt over to the theater, and it makes me sad.
So I would guess out of all of the three of us, even Richie Skye, you're probably the biggest Potter fan.
I would say that's probably
Have you read all the books?
multiple times.
Oh,
Okay. Yes.
I read the first book and I've seen all the films. I'm a fan of the movies.
I've seen the films as
I've
well.
seen the films multiple times.
Yeah, no, I'm on Pottermore. I used to go to mugglenet.com. I used to read the fan fiction.
Oof.
Don't worry, we got all those bases covered.
All right. So now for you,
Yep.
then, is this a story that you want to see told, or is it just were you just satisfied with it, just reading about it?
Well,
about the Dumbledore Grindelwald battle?
I gotta
that's gonna
tell
come?
you, it's interesting because with Cursed Child, the play that she released, I was, I think as a piece of theater, it was really, really cool. I think for where it was and how I feel about the Potter universe, there are some things that I wanted to take from it and some things that I wanted to leave.
Right.
And that is my hesitation going into Fantastic Beasts because, J.K. Rowling has this kind of annoying habit where she keeps wanting to dip back in and clarify things or change things or talk about things, which is sometimes annoying because you're just like, can't we just let something great just be? And so that makes me nervous. But on the other side of that is I just want more Potter all the time. I just love this universe. I love to be a part of it. It's like, it's so steeped in like my childhood and growing up. The nostalgia is real, folks. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's kind of where it's hard because it's like I want more of it, but I also want it to be kind of what it was to me when I was growing up and everything. And it's a difficult coin to decide how much I want that memory to be affected.
I'll do a little shameless plug here. Have you watched Severus Snape and the Marauders? It's a Harry Potter fan film.
No, I haven't.
And it's James Potter, Snape, and all the team as just graduating from Hogwarts.
Oh, really?
As young adults.
Oh, it's a film.
It's on YouTube. It's a short film.
Oh, I gotta watch it.
So yeah, guys, I interviewed the director and actors from that, and you can see that interview as well. But it's if you're a fan of Harry Potter, I highly do recommend Severus Snape and the Marauders, and it's a short film, and it's actually excellent effects too for a short film. And speaking of films and stuff, and power to the we're talking about this independent filmmakers and just like, people like yourselves out there watching, like anybody can make a movie. It's just like if you have a passion for it, you can make something.
Mm-hmm.
Does it seem fan fiction-y at all, or does it seem like no? This seems like a nice little piece of story.
It is fan fiction.
It's really it's a piece
Isn't
of
any
history.
piece of fiction not written by her technically fan
Yeah, I mean,
fiction?
it's a fan fiction, but it seems very fitting. Like, I don't know much of the history of, Harry Potter's fathers and his mother, and so I thought this was really interesting. And as well, they did an excellent job casting, because these people kind of look like young versions of the actors that are in the films, and I'm like, okay, there's a couple of them, you're like, whoa, like, good job with casting, because they, you visually go, yeah, that looks kind of like them, and that really helps you as a viewer go attached to it, of like, yeah, this fits in with that world.
All right. So, Quinn, we are looking forward to seeing when you hearing from when you see the film. There,
Your
see what you
Fantastic
think.
Beasts.
Yes. Number 3, we've got The Arrival from Paramount Pictures, $7.3 million. Kari and I have both seen that film, so we've discussed our feelings about it. Quinn, are you excited? Are you a science fiction person at all, or no?
Well, I have to see this because I did lose the bet that week. So I have to see this movie. And I gotta tell you, when it was first coming out, I was kind of like I could take or leave it. And now word of mouth has gotten me wanting to go see this thing.
Interesting.
Oh, all
Yeah.
right. There you go. I mean, it's
Not from our words of mouth.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all didn't like it? I had friends who really did.
No, it's like it's fine.
Not
seem to like
dislike it.
Yeah.
It's more,
Yeah, it's fine.
yeah.
Fine.
It's fine.
Yeah. That's
So I'll wait for the screener for this one for sure. Like, maybe don't go spend money on this one.
only if you do a double feature.
Yeah.
There you go. Do a
Yeah,
double
or
feature.
matinee.
Yeah.
Be, like, steal from someone is what you're saying. Just rob someone.
How dare you? How dare you assume
No
that?
offense to Rival, but
All right. Well, then we won't press it.
All right. Coming in at number 4, Brad Pitt's new film, Allied, from Robert Zemeckis. Also from Paramount Pictures. It's a little over $7 million.
See, this is, speaking of star power, this one I would go see just for Marion Cotillard.
interesting.
Love
for her?
Love her so much.
Wow. Because we both were like, meh.
Yeah.
Yeah, even Richie
About
was
her?
like, eh. No, the movie, like, wanting to see it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Not
I
necessarily
got
the
that.
movie. We're like, eh. Now, this we also talked about trailers, I think, last week, like how one advertises a film. I saw a different version of this trailer, and it made it look so much more exciting that I'm like, okay, cool. Because the one trailer I saw, it's like it's 50-50. She's a traitor or she's not, you know? And I'm like, well, I don't really care. Like, that didn't get me in. But then there was like an action trailer that told you very little of the story and just made it exciting. I'm like, okay, I want to see that movie.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah,
To, like,
it's a completely different trailer.
I mean, with trailers, doesn't it sometimes always feel like less is more?
Yes.
I mean, you hate a trailer where you go, well, damn, now I've seen the entire movie and I
Yes.
haven't even, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Well, only sometimes. There's those movies that you're always on the fence about that you're like, I'm glad I saw the whole thing because now I don't need to see that movie in the theater.
But I almost feel like instead of having like one long, like, 3-minute trailer, give us like maybe a
150,
couple, like a couple
130.
short ones that are
Yeah.
maybe a little less inclusive, that are but are just different or something, as opposed to like those trailers that really do plot out the entire movie.
Yeah.
which is how I felt about the Gabrielle Union Christmas movie that came out, like Almost Home or something like that.
Almost Christmas.
Oh yeah, that
Right?
one.
Was it Almost Christmas?
Almost
Yeah.
Christmas.
Basically plotted out the entire movie
Oh, okay.
in the trailer.
Oh, which is fine.
Yeah.
That I wasn't rushing out to go see
Yeah.
that.
Well, just as an example.
Yes.
But like Marion Cotillard, I don't dislike her, but she's not one of the like an actress or an actor that gets me jazzed to go see a film that she's in.
Yeah.
I
Same.
love her. Just
What's your favorite movie of hers?
I just really liked how good she was in Inception. I thought it was so lovely and nuanced, and also like a lot of other ones probably, but that's the one that comes to mind.
No, like,
Cool.
The Dark Knight Rises, or that was the last Batman film, right? Christopher Nolan one. That was
Yes.
yeah. So she was in there as well. So Quinn not really caring.
Sorry, I'm reading.
We're checking the chat.
Checking chat.
All right, coming in number 5 as we're talking about the Universal building their franchises.
Yeah.
We've been talking about that. Let's go back to Marvel's franchise that they've been making since 2008 there with the Iron Man, or I guess you could say a little earlier with the Ed Norton's Incredible Hulk, even though they recast him with Mark Ruffalo. Doctor Strange from Disney, $6.4 million added to its total.
Do we have any idea why Fight Club is on like the top 10 list on iTunes right now?
Maybe people just want to get into a fight. They just want to fight.
I
First
don't
rule
know.
of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club.
Right?
Sorry, James. You're right.
Fair enough.
Sorry, we can't talk
Yeah.
about it. Sorry,
Moving
Quinn.
on.
Now, Richie Skye, he was kind of on a media sabbatical for a little while, much like yourself, Quinn. His 2 films that he wanted to see once he got off of that were Doctor Strange and Inferno. So, other than Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, what is the other film that you're dying to see?
I really want to see Moana, just because I'm trying to know what's going on. That one seems like kind of in.
Or if you're still doing stuff with kids, highly recommend that one. It's a good one with kids.
But yeah, the ones I really wanted to see are Manchester by the Sea, and I want to see Moonlight, and I wanted to see La La Land, and I haven't seen any of
Yes.
those yet. So those are definitely kind of the top of my list.
All right. I feel like those are the ones that all right, I feel like the bigger odds of those coming to me in screeners than like Doctor Strange. Probably not
But
gonna
Doctor
get
Strange, I already saw that one.
Oh, you did? Okay, what do you think of Doctor Strange?
I liked it. I thought we talked about it right
Okay,
after I
cool.
saw
Yeah.
it. And
Refreshing, that one, yeah.
I was cool with it.
Cool.
So our international numbers here, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them has led for the 3rd frame in a row. Newt Scamander and his errant creatures grabbed another $60.4 million in 67 markets to take the offshore total to $424.4 million worldwide. They've also got another 608. They basically their total worldwide is 608 million, on their way to $700+ million. And that's still another solid week ahead of them before Rogue One comes out, which releases December 14th overseas. So that total can go up even further. Moana, meanwhile, as we're talking about that, number 1 domestically, it's also got another global cume of $177.4 million after adding $32 million overseas with openings in Russia, France, and more. And certainly
Breaking in some dough.
Disney's got a lot to be happy about here with the domestic box office hitting a record 2,491,000 through Sunday for a new industry milestone.
Wow.
Plus, the studio crossed the $4 billion in international box office for the first time ever.
$4 billion.
Yes.
That's so much money.
There you go. Globally, the year-to-date box office is $6.57 billion, and that's before Rogue One opens as well. So Disney's not doing too bad this year.
Dude. And a Star
Get that
Wars
rake and
movie
rake in the
on
money.
That's
deck.
right. And they've got another $419.6 million overseas for Doctor Strange, which is now past Deadpool.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's also zoomed past Iron Man 2 this week, and the next heroes to follow will be Suicide Squad. And it bears to note that Deadpool nor Suicide Squad opened in China, where Doctor Strange has amassed $110.3 million.
All right, so we can write that one off.
Yeah. So now, folks, as usual, we like to do our box office bet. We, of course, did Incarnate there, the Aaron Eckhart horror film that did not do so well at the box office. Sadly, this week we only have one other title, much like last week, being released in the box office. So there's not really any need to bet this week in the chat room, because the only film in contention is going to be Office Christmas Party, coming out this week from Paramount, 2,800 theaters. So we'll be doing that for our box office breakdown. But before we get to that, or about predictions for next week's box office, we like to do a box office look back on one of the stars and one of the upcoming films. Since there's only one film being looked at, this is one of those kind of big catch-all casts.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of people, but I picked probably the one I was excited to always see in a film. That's Jason Bateman. So I went with his top 5 opening films there at the box office. Number 7, or excuse me, number 5 for him, we cut off Dodgeball, a true underdog story, which they just billed as a cameo, which I guess is true. I mean, he played the reporter. I mean, the guy from the Ocho.
I don't remember him in that at all.
Yeah, he was the one of
Yeah,
the
I don't
commentators.
Yeah, it must
Yes.
have been just a quick little bit.
Yeah.
ESPN 8, the Ocho. But coming in for number 5 for our purposes, there was Horrible Bosses from Warner Brothers back in 2011, $28.3 million.
I never saw this
never
one or
saw
the
that
second
either.
one.
Yeah.
I never. Did I see? No, I didn't see the second one. The first one was.
Wait, I thought when I
fine.
think about it, Jason Bateman and Jennifer Aniston have been in a lot of movies together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the Switch one.
Yeah, The Switch. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I was
I don't like
thinking
that.
of.
I watched that on a plane or something. I'm
And The
like,
Breakup,
That
right?
seems like a perfect. That was Vince Vaughn.
And Jennifer Aniston.
Yes.
Yeah.
And in The Breakup is on Jason Bateman's, is number 2
Is
for
it?
Jason
Oh
Bateman.
my gosh, he was in that too. Good lord, I never saw that one. All
I
right.
didn't see that one.
You didn't?
Nope.
There's some really funny moments.
Oh, all right. Well, we'll get to
Yeah.
that. Coming in at number 4 for him, Couples Retreat from Universal. It came out in 2009, $34.2 million.
This one I did not see.
I did, but
I wanted to. I was wanting to see it because it's like, hey, Vince Vaughn, Jon
lot of
Favreau,
people
coming back together. They hadn't really done
just-
anything.
so much dumb stuff that goes down, and you're just frustrated watching them be stupid. Or again, let's put people in awkward situations and we'll laugh at them, and you're like,
That's a shame.
Yep, no, I get it. I totally get it. You
it's
convinced
just not
me.
my kind of humor. I also don't think I really like him much.
Who, Jason Bateman?
Yeah.
Really?
Not my kind of funny.
Interesting.
I don't necessarily think he's a bad actor. He's
Arrested
just not my kind of
Development,
funny.
though, is one of the best shows ever.
I watched like one episode, and I couldn't even watch number 2.
Have you guys ever seen Bad Words?
Yes, that was a good
That's
movie.
probably my favorite movie that he's
Okay.
ever made.
I know what
I
you
mean,
guys have
again,
to say.
I understand that Arrested Development is a very well liked show, and not doubting that. It's just one of the I didn't get it.
Is your do you not enjoy like kind of like the humor that makes you kind of uncomfortable and kind of squirming?
I think it's a weak kind of humor of like, okay, we'll just make people uncomfortable and laugh at them. And I'm like, really? That's
No, I totally agree, which is why I've had conversations about Bridesmaids a lot with my friends.
that one. No, I didn't like that one.
But I don't think Arrested Development. I think it's so quirky, and I also what is it? Oh, what did I watch like very recently? Was a very young Jason Bateman, and he just plays like a complete smarmy like gross guy. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? It's like really like one of his first movies. Plays someone's brother. No, damn
There
it.
you go.
Blanking, you know.
Nailed it. Somebody's brother.
But I would give Arrested Development a chance. I'd go back and like try to watch. Like most shows, I'll give it at least like 2 to 3 episodes before I'm like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess.
Love it. I just love it.
So like shows like Curb Your Enthusiasm, things like that, where you're just kind of like, or
even think
any
I
like the
watched
Ricky Gervais,
Curb I like.
and like Extras or The Office, kind of like Ricky
You know,
Gervais's.
extras though, like I like him,
Okay.
but I didn't watch that one yet.
You know which one I could never watch was The Comeback with Lisa Kudrow.
Man,
didn't watch that one.
It's that first season is just I was like, why am I watching this? But there's one where they go to Palm Springs for the weekend, where that episode genuinely made me laugh, and so for that I was like, all right, I'm with this series because I
Alrighty.
did laugh because it was so ridiculous. But this is not TV talk, guys. This is box
No,
office
sorry.
breakdown. Sorry, we got a little. That's our special little TV talk tangent that we're going to be introducing. The box office breakdown.
Trailers, TV talk.
That's right.
It's all
We
ties
need
in.
a new
That's right.
poster because this is not inclusive
No.
enough.
It's movies
T-
bleed into TV, and TV bleeds into movies. So
Star Drew is trying to help out
No,
Quinn.
it's not Teen Wolf.
Not but Teen Wolf 2.
No, not even Teen Wolf 2.
Oh,
I also like that it's 2 isn't also. No, I don't. I'm not even going to Google it. It's not worth it.
It's not worth
This
it.
is taking up too much valuable box office talk time.
number 3.
Identity Thief with Jason Bateman and Melissa McCarthy.
Didn't even want to touch that one.
That was a rough movie to watch.
Okay.
That
See, I
was.
was like,
But I think it had less to do with Jason Bateman and more with Melissa McCarthy and that sort of role. She kind of hits that nail over the head a lot in some of her films, and that gets really exhausting with me.
I like loved her in like Mike and Molly and stuff, but movie wise, I'm like,
Or Gilmore Girls, where she plays Suki.
I haven't watched Gilmore.
Neither have I.
Well, I mean, like, I think we can give. I want to
Yeah.
give her a little more credit than that. I
Yeah.
actually think she's pretty phenomenal. I thought Spy was funny for what it was.
Well, I think she's better in Spy, but when she plays that kind of like just that obnoxious kind of just bull in a china shop character, a little that goes a long way with me. Like I thought,
I get
like
it.
Bridesmaids when she was kind of relegated to like
Right.
kind of like she kind of come in accent scenes. Like that was fine.
Like certain people,
Yeah,
they should,
I
they're
think she's
better.
good, and she's one of the best parts of Bridesmaids. I
Yeah.
think.
Like
But-
some people are better as an ensemble and not a main one, because then it's just was too much. You
Yeah.
get overloaded.
Yeah, that was the case. They kind of took that sort of character and said,
Yeah.
"Hey, why don't we just make that one of the focuses there on
Yeah.
Identity Thief?" You're like, "Oh man, enough, please."
Mm-hmm.
A little that went a long way. Number two, as Quinn was mentioning, The Breakup.
Mm-hmm.
Very funny movie. Quinn's enjoying it right there.
It's Gary on the kick drum. Come on the kick drum, Gary. It's so funny. There's this crazy scene
Is this in the movie?
in the
Never
movie.
take a pitch whistle out of a guy's hand when he's in the funky groove.
It's so good. Okay, the movie as a whole is not that good, but this specific scene is phenomenal. It's worth the watch just for the dinner scene.
Star Drew
Okay.
is throwing out another title for you, Quinn, in the chat. Love Stinks. Is that possibility?
All right, if we're gonna
I just
keep.
pulled it up on IMDb. That was one of them. Or Necessary Roughness.
Oh, Necessary Roughness. Scott Bakula, man. I enjoyed that movie. Just those underdogs coming up. Those college underdogs.
Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, I was.
Breaking the Rules.
Hold on.
A Taste of Killing.
Oof, that sounds great.
These are all like really Crossing the Mob.
Why did none of these sound familiar?
Moving Target. Nothing says brother under.
Well, I'm sure he had a name.
But Albin, I do agree with you in the chat. Thank you, saying Identity Thief was atrocious. Thank you. Yes, that was a
Yeah.
rough movie to sit through. And Albin
All right.
also threw out there that Paul Feig is the one who can direct Melissa McCarthy. So I mean, he did her in Bridesmaids and also Ghostbusters. Too. I thought she was fine in Ghostbusters.
Again, part
yeah.
of an ensemble, though.
Yes, exactly. So, but I feel like there are directors that can
Yeah.
get those certain traits out of an actor and know how to kind of direct them really well. So,
Yeah.
I feel like same thing like with Vince Vaughn. Like as we're talking about characters like The Breakup, like Vince
Yeah.
Vaughn's another actor that I feel like needs the right director to
Yeah.
kind of just find, because he can just go off like a crazy man with this kind of rapid assault where he's just rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat.
Yeah.
But you get the right director, I think you can really get something good out of him.
Yes.
Coming in number one, I know a few people in there talked about it. It's not Starsky and Hutch, Drew, although that came out I think just after Horrible Bosses. Is Hancock.
I
Will
did
Smith.
like that one.
I've never seen it, and I feel like I
It's
should because
good.
it's like
It was
you know,
cool.
like a superhero
Yeah.
film that's like
But
like
it's
its
not
own thing.
really. Yeah. It is, but it's not.
But I mean, all right, I guess we're talking. I mean, this film came out in 2008, made $62.6 million, directed by Peter Berg, starring Will Smith, Charlize Theron, and Jason Bateman. But like the deal is like Will Smith plays like an ancient, almost like an immortal dude,
Yeah.
so to speak. But then Charlize Theron also is another one of that from that race, and they were together. That seemed like weird to me. Which I've not seen the movie, so I
Wait.
don't know how it plays together. But
It's
'cause
one of those that works within the realm of the world that they made in the film. So that's what I mean of like it's a superhero, but not a superhero movie, but not quite. It's definitely not like the superhero movies that are out now.
Because they're essentially just like ex-husband and wife, right?
Yes, I think so. It's been a while,
Yeah.
but I remember it's cool because it's different.
Would you? Because I remember there was always like talk like, oh, there's going to be Hancock too. There's always kind of like those rumors that you kind of
No,
hear about.
you're
Would
good
you
with
want?
one.
Yeah, that was it.
Fine. But that's like certain shows and certain movies. You're almost better ending it where it is instead of dragging it out. It's like you've buttoned it, you've wrapped it, you got the bow, leave it. Because when you keep it going, you're just like, well,
See, and
it's like food. You end on the best bite possible.
to dovetail back into Fantastic Beasts.
See, for me, I just eat forever.
There you go. See, I felt much like Carrie was describing that feeling. I felt that way about Fantastic Beasts. Like that film, it reached an end where I feel like everything was kind of pretty much just tied up.
And it kept going.
I was like, well, it's like I don't know if I need to see 4 more movies in
It
this series.
bogeyed.
Yeah, it's like don't
In
need-
golf, when you go one past par, that's bogeying. And there's like, you can bogey a movie, you can bogey a joke where you just push it a little too
Yep.
far.
Look at you,
And
Miss
it's-
Golf.
Thank you. Me and my friends came up with that, and it's gotten kind of popular.
Yeah,
I like it.
I'm trying to make fetch happen, if you can't tell.
Okay, well there you go. That's a good point, guys. Thank you, chat room. I don't quite remember Hancock well enough. I remember I enjoyed it, but quite a few people are chiming in that like the beginning starts well and then it changes a bit towards the end.
I can't really remember much about the movie.
Yeah,
he's like
I
the-
saw it, so.
I just remember I liked it.
That
He's kind
kind
of
of
like the
has-
surly, kind of reluctant hero that's
Yes.
got to kind of reclaim his,
Yeah.
remember what he's fighting
Yeah.
for.
Yeah.
Find the hero within again. But,
Aha.
haha, we did it. So
and who was
yes,
that? Eva Mendes, who was in that with him?
Charlize Theron.
Trying to say.
Oh, wait, I must be thinking of Hitch.
That's a good one too. But anyway,
All right. So our upcoming film that we'll be doing our box office bet in just a moment is Office Christmas Party. But before that, we're going to do our top 5 prediction for next week's box office. Of course, Office Christmas Party from Paramount Pictures, starring Jason Bateman, Jennifer Aniston.
You name it, they're in it.
T.J. Miller, a few other people. Yes, it almost feels like it's maybe a more adults comedy-oriented version of like Valentine's Day, like the Gary Marshall films.
I was gonna say like
New
they're
Year's
doing like a
Eve.
Love Actually kind of.
Yeah.
You know, trying to throw a bunch of names in there.
I think they're just on Facebook, but there's these really Oh no, they're on Twitter too. There's these really good HR videos for it that my friend helped make, and you guys should check them out. I don't know if you guys have seen them, but it's like an HR video from the characters in the movie, like getting ready for the Christmas party. Don't drink alcohol, and they like give an example of what happens when the people drink alcohol, and then they're like, nope, let's start over. And they're
Do you guys know the
cute idea.
snake juice episode of Parks and Rec?
No.
Okay,
No.
moving on.
All right.
But yes, if you guys see those they're fun little videos. If you see, it's like HR videos for Office Party. They're really cool.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Fun.
So that is a good tension. It's opening up at 2,800 theaters, so it's a nice opening size for
And it's
that.
a comedy. There haven't been a lot of like straight up comedies recently.
No, and there's
And it's the
nothing
only
really.
thing opening.
Yeah. So we
And
got.
it's getting ready for Christmas. It's actually now this is one where it's like just before Christmas. Good timing.
Have you guys decorated or gotten a tree or any kind of maybe
Carrie, what are you waiting for?
Well, I recently moved. Everything's like still in boxes and
or a
stuff.
menorah? I don't want to just pretend like we're all necessarily
Yeah,
Christian.
or something for the winter solstice.
Yeah, exactly.
something-
All of those things.
No, everything's still in a box.
I got a little tree. Yourself, Quinn?
We have a little bit. We have string lights and a monkey with a Santa hat. On.
That's perfect.
Cute.
I love it.
And the monkey isn't alive. It's just a stuffed monkey. I felt like I needed to tell you guys that.
Oh well, now I don't want to come over to your
boy.
place then because
I know. I had
it's only
to,
a live
I had
monkey
to
or
say,
nothing for me.
Everyone was gonna be so excited that I had a live monkey with a Santa hat on, and I didn't want to let
That's right.
anyone down.
Ooh,
It's just a
yeah.
regular old dumb stuffed monkey. It's like an elf on a shelf kind of thing.
So then, are you being really good then to make sure that
Santa's watching.
Santa Ape comes in and gives you like that?
Santa is always watching.
All right, so Quinn, are you ready to just jump back in, get back on that horse, so to speak, that box office breakdown
Yeah, I
horse?
feel like I've been on it
Yeah?
since you sat down.
All right, can you?
It's because I'm
what-
sitting in DJ Richie Skye's chair.
That's
Yeah.
right. He's classy all the time.
Yep.
Can you give us what your top 5 is for next week?
All right, I got starting off with number 1. We're gonna have Office Xmas Party.
Interesting.
Just looking at Moana's numbers and where they are, I think I think Office Party is gonna beat whatever half of Moana is.
Okay.
So just kind of playing the numbers game there. Number 2, Moana. 3, Fantastic. 4, Arrival. So I kept those in the same, and then I'm gonna bump Allied out of there and put Doctor Strange at number 5.
I can see that. It seems like that seems like a good move. Kari Lane, do you disagree? Oh,
Sorry, chat room was bringing up cuffing.
Cuffing.
Cuffing under the mistletoe.
I know.
I agree and disagree. It's one of those. I thought it was an interesting idea for Christmas Office Christmas Party to be number 1, but it is I don't necessarily know if it has that wide kind of appeal. I think Moana's going to still hold on to number 1, and then maybe I'll bump in Christmas Party for 2, then Fantastic Beasts, then Arrival, and I agree, Doctor Strange bump out Allied.
I'm siding with Kari Lane. Yeah, Kari Lane is basically.
Yeah?
But
All right.
yeah, I was riding, going down that route as well. Kari and I just we sync up too often.
Apparently.
That's right.
You guys are cycles or sing.
That's right,
That is
guys.
so cute.
Our box office cycles have
is
synced
so
up.
cute.
Oh boy.
Now we, folks, as we're coming towards the end of the show, we're going to do our box office bet. Now, as usual, the way the box office bet
see.
works is that we're all going to guess the opening box office title for a film, usually chosen by you in the chat room, but since there's only one film opening up this week, which is Office Christmas Party, we're unfortunately not going to be able to have you guys vote because there's only one film to choose from. So the one that's closest to the actual box office total gets to have bragging rights that they're so smart, they know the numbers. The one that's farthest away will have to go see that movie in the theater and then come and tell us all about it.
And come tell us all about it.
All right, so what do you think? Again, Paramount Pictures,
Yo, I cannot
100
find my calculator.
2,800 screens.
I'm sorry, am I
Jason
crazy,
Bateman,
or is
Jennifer
it-
Aniston.
Is there no calculator on my phone? Hold on, I'll figure this out.
Let's see here. What
Got
do we
it.
think it could make here? I'm gonna go. Okay.
Hold on. Let me look at the numbers really quick one time for last week. Wait, 28, right, was Moana.
Yes, 28. Yeah. Ooh, I wonder. I might be overshooting it with that then.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, we
all
put
right.
it at number 2.
Okay. Yep. Man,
Okay.
This is gonna be a quiet December.
Right?
God. Oh man. All right.
While we're reading, Sky
Yeah, I'll do it.
Patterson, thank you for the question. So, what do people want to see more from? More blockbuster movies or original films in the future?
Original.
I want to say both because they both have a place. I would like independent films to get more recognition, though, or more mass release so that more people can see them. Because often independent movies get 100 theaters or something like that. Or if it's a specialty movie, it's so hard for your average person to go see it. We're very lucky in Los Angeles that we have a lot of different theaters, but there's random places that's like, well, how are they going to go see a movie if it's like such a limited release? So.
And I'll give it up for like Christopher Nolan. I like him because he certainly does the Dark Knight trilogy, but then he also does almost look like you can think like original films with a bigger budget. When you get Interstellar, you've got Inception, things like that, and now Dunkirk coming out as well, which there's going to be I think 12 minutes of that screened in front of Rogue One as well in 70 millimeter.
Okay.
So. I do like the idea that he's doing a lot more original movies there, but just with a bigger budget to kind of see what he can do with that.
But I mean, like I voiced my, disapproval about reboots and remakes and prequels and I'm so over it. It's really hard for me to want to go see a movie with a 2 at the end. I mean, there are exceptions, obviously.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I'm going to be more jazzed about something that feels like a new idea, always.
Yeah.
All right, so we've now reached the point where we're going
What
to.
about like based on? What if it's based on something like you don't really know about? Like we were talking. Like I'm very excited for Valerian based on, and it's based on a graphic novel that I don't know anything about.
No, yeah, I mean, like I was excited.
cool.
Ender's Game. That's a good example of one. So yeah, I mean, like I definitely
If
think
you're not
that
familiar with the source
if you're
material.
not as familiar with it, then
Yeah.
I do think that there's definitely a place for it. And also just like I do think that there's definitely been lots of times where you're just like, oh, that was a great idea because they could bring things to screen that they could never do in other ways, and that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to watch Maze Runner, and that's been like set up on my DVR
yeah,
to record,
okay.
and then I keep deleting it when I get out of space.
You can skip that one.
No, it's a really, really good book. I
Maze
really
Runner?
like the book.
Yeah, read the book. Don't watch the movie.
The movie's really cool. They do change a lot, so it's almost better to watch the movie and then read the book because then it will add more rather than take away.
Gotcha.
I really was disappointed with the movie.
But you read
really
it first.
I
Yeah?
read it first. Yeah.
See, that's the problem. Like I read it first and then watched the movie, and I'm like, ooh, they did change a lot. And I'm like,
Just felt like the stakes
and
weren't as
Scorched
high.
Trials was really good, but then the lead actor got injured, so now there's a delay into making the third one.
Dylan O'Brien.
Yeah.
He's on Teen Wolf on MTV.
He gave us all for
Yeah.
the movie, guys. Just know that. All right.
All right.
We are at our moment that we reveal our numbers here. All right, Quinn, what did you predict that Office Christmas Party will be doing next week at the box
I have
office?
a feeling I'm going to be high,
All right.
and my phone is
Someone in the
blank.
chat said 30.
I feel like oof.
Oh my God. Okay, I don't know what's happening.
It's okay. Oh, there you are.
I said 16 and a half.
Oh, 16 and a
16.5?
half.
All
All
right.
right. Kari Lane.
I don't know where to look.
12? Oh no! Oh no! I went high. I went 22.
How did I end up in the middle of that one?
Oh man! Oh no! I hope I'm. Oh boy!
Yeah, but you know what though? I do see it actually getting maybe closer to 20 though. I really
Wait,
do.
so you think Moana's not going to drop that much? But we put it at number 2.
I know,
Remember?
I know.
Remember?
I was like 28, and then I bumped myself down to 19, and then during our talk, I bumped it back up to 22. What have I done?
Well, if we're putting Moana at 1 and it's 28 now, it'll be maybe about 14-ish.
Yeah.
And this needs to be less if it's number 2.
Yeah.
But you gotta stick with it. You wrote it down.
I did. It's
you
locked in.
guys, 12? I think it's going to do a lot more than 12.
We've had some low numbers recently, so
Yes.
I'm gonna stay safer.
This star power is just going to
Oh, I should have gone.
propel it
You know,
into number
we'll find
1.
out, We'll find out.
All right.
It
yes.
is going to be coming into number 1 on fumes,
Ooh,
I think.
Or this is a movie that I think will maybe get better word of mouth as people see it
Yeah,
and they go,
no,
no,
right.
really, it's really funny.
I just think it's the only thing opening.
You're like, please, you guys.
It's the only thing opening.
What?
What was the comedy they released last year around Christmas time?
Oh, I don't know.
That was kind of like.
I was drunk
with
all
Seth
of last
Rogen.
Christmas.
Yeah, the Seth Rogen,
with the
Justin
sweaters. They all had the
Joseph
sweaters
Gordon-Levitt.
on.
Yes.
Yeah, and
How
Anthony
did that
Mackie.
go?
Oh, yeah, that one.
Let's look it up really quick. Hold on. I'm gonna look.
that
I'm gonna
movie.
look.
'Cause
You guys
it's
talk
got
amongst-
kinda that same
talk
feel
amongst
of,
yourselves.
That's true.
It's a Christmas story, but it's funny and geared more towards adults.
Right.
You know, like,
Yeah.
I think this looks hilarious though. T.J. Miller's.
I love TJ.
I love.
Oh, the night before.
And I
thank
love
you.
Yes.
The chat room said
the night before. And
Thank
I
you.
love my mom, Jennifer Aniston, so much.
Oh, there you go. Here we go. Albin, what was I thinking, Frank? I don't know. I don't know what I was
Star Drew
thinking.
says I'm gonna lose.
All right. Star Drew in the chat says $20. Carrie will lose that bet.
Oof.
Star Drew, he home alone. He home alone me.
What? I don't know.
All right.
Home Alone me.
Oh my God, you guys.
What?
Hold
Oh
on.
yes.
Wait.
What?
Shoot, I lost it. Hold on. I think this movie made
We're looking up how much the night before made.
the night before made. Hold on.
Oh, Jamie in the chat says 22 million is way too high for that movie. No chance. Then we got Sky going Office Party. 28 million opening
okay.
weekend.
All right.
Seems
Opening
impossible.
weekend for night before.
was.
$9 million.
No. Can't happen. Oh, all right.
Oh,
I'll be
man.
seeing Office
Well,
Christmas Party.
In your defense,
Actually, closer
maybe,
to 10. We'll round it up to 10.
Oh,
Maybe
okay, great.
hopefully my friends' promotional videos are getting into more
Yes.
people that you can get higher numbers than that.
Well,
And this
I'm
had
just saying.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I mean, that's not star power.
But I'd rather watch a movie with Jason Bateman over Seth Rogen any day. So I'm
True,
maybe,
that's a different
I
kind
agree.
of comedy.
Yes.
And TJ.
Fair enough.
And T.J. Miller, yeah, he can be funny.
I think that this movie is definitely going to do better than The Night Before.
Kate McKinnon, come on, you're riding that hot Ghostbusters vibe off.
Yeah.
Been killing it on SNL.
Killing
Yeah, that's
it.
right, guys. Right, you need to see this movie.
Yeah.
Everybody out there, you need
See
to
it
see
for
Office
Frank.
Christmas Party.
Forget all of those small independent art films. Go see
Yeah.
this. Just so Frank doesn't lose the
yes.
bet.
Oh boy! All right. Well, we'll find out how quickly I'll be seeing Office Christmas Party. I guess I
Yeah.
have my holiday plans set for me.
You know what? Just do a double header. Don't you dare pay for that. Just rob those in theaters blind.
All right, folks. Thanks so much for joining us here tonight. This is going to wrap us up for this episode of Box Office Breakdown. But the fun doesn't stop here. You can like us on Facebook, give us those 5 stars on iTunes, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thanks so much, everybody, for hopping in the chat. We love having you interact with us during the course of the show. Do yourselves a favor, guys. I mean, you've really worked hard tonight, probably this whole week, and it's only even Monday. I mean, just think that it's only the first day of the week, and you've already worked so hard. Go see Office Christmas Party. You really deserve it. Treat yourself this weekend. Go see it twice. Go see it twice because it's so good. You guys deserve it. Don't do it for me. Just do it for yourselves. You'll be so happy that you did. But if you want to continue the conversation or just make fun of my ridiculous over-the-top bet for Office Christmas Party, where can you find? You can find us on Twitter. Quinn, where can I find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at Quinn Scillian. You can find me on Instagram at Quinstagram, and you can add me on Snapchat at QuapChat.
And you guys can find me online at Kari D Lane. That's KaridLane.
Thanks as always to James in the booth. Look at that. You make us sound so good and have so much fun with us. Thanks so much. And guys, just go see Office Christmas Party. I don't need to tell you where to find me on Twitter.
I was just gonna say you didn't say where to find you.
No,
You
don't-
set it up, and you're like,
No, you don't even need to find you. No, you don't
I'll
even
say
need
it
to
for
find
him
me.
because I
Happy
want
go
the screen
Jackie.
time.
Happy go, Jackie.
Happy go, Jackie.
All right, folks, that's
Ed
gonna do.
Harris!
That's gonna do it for this episode of Box Office Breakdown. We'll see you next week.
ya.
Yeah.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.